We're going to bring our energies together. So just coming in. I want you to become present with what is in this moment. Hand on your heart. Eyes closed. Deep breath. And I want you to allow everything that doesn't belong to this moment to take a step back so that you can focus totally on your breath, on your heart. And being present now. And just sit like this for a moment as we wait for a few people to come in. And drop your breath into your heart as it passes in and out, connecting you with this sacred moment. Good morning, Amy. Thank you for joining me. And just breathing in and out through your heart. Everything happens here. Where you shine your light. Just feel like you are a radiant starlight. Just breathing in and out through your heart. And dropping everything right in there. And feel the love. So beautiful. Welcome. Good. What a way to start our Sunday. I really love this song by Paul Luftenhager. Really beautiful. It's called My Heart. So if you want to look him up, he is the most conscious being on this planet. And I had a pleasure of meeting him in Spain. And just so beautiful. His words are so beautiful. His songs, his music are designed to really stir the emotions within us. So, okay. Welcome, you guys. Happy Sunday. Today is going to be really helping you move out of funk, because the energy around, and maybe some of you have been feeling a little bit of that funk, a little bit of that heavy energy that keeps coming up, right? And I'm going to teach you how to move out of that. But first thing I want you to know is that time's up. It's time for you to take responsibility. It's time to put yourself in a position where you feel happy again. And it's been one rough section of the journey in the last few months, right? Getting rid of the old energy that was such a challenge. And it is a challenge, but it doesn't need to be a challenge anymore. So stop, surrender, and love yourself enough now to take a different path. So we have a window right now to make one final change before the super hectic energy wave hits us in a few weeks, right? So you know what you want, you know what you need, and you know what makes you happy. So I want you to surround yourself with positive people, things that lift you up, support you, love you. Be your true, open-hearted, authentic self, because you cannot hide anymore. We're in the middle of a revolution. The world needs your gifts, it needs your energy. And the biggest insight that I channeled, and I'll share the channeling with you later in this session, but it was predominantly around your energy is where your power is. So your energy is what emanates the frequencies around you. And so if you're not taking care of your energy, that's going to translate. So this is the time now, this is the week now to take responsibility, step into your worth. Remember that you are supported by the universe and you are never alone. The universe does have your back. So be true to you, be true to your heart. And this week is going to be a big week and, well, a big year really. We've always been saying that. So I'm going to help you move out of that flat, funky feeling that a few of you are, that you keep finding yourself in, and you're going to learn how you will shift your energy now. But the message here is to really make time to be with yourself. And you may want to take time to journal with yourself and see what emotions are there, okay? And I'm going to give you some journaling prompts. I've got all of that down. I'll put them in the comments too, but if you've got a paper and pen, I invite you just to bring that in with you now while I'm speaking. And we can move through any of the energy that's left, that's stagnant, that needs to come out together, okay? That dull, flat, funky feeling has emotions to it that needs to be unpacked. And whether it's sadness or loneliness or emptiness or feeling like you lack clarity or purpose or direction, or that your direction has changed and it's not in alignment with what you were doing before. It could feel like something is missing. It could be frustrations. I don't know what it is, but see what the emotions are that you're actually feeling at the moment. And I don't know is not a feeling response. So this is why I'm inviting you into this reflection with me, because I know that we can feel blah and we don't know why, but there is an opportunity here to tune in deeply and find out what's going on at the moment, okay? So the very first thing I want to reflect with you as we move into this new week, and really taking time now with your and for yourself, especially today being Sunday, self-care, right? Has some event happened in your life that has impacted you? Okay? So really reflect on these questions. Has there been an event that happened in my life that's impacted on me? Is it COVID? Is something that's happened that's brought up something that I need to actually heal? Right? And if it is COVID or whatever is going on outside, obviously that could impact on the changes that we've gone through. Yep. Clinging on, my shoulder and neck are in absolute agony. My body is screaming for me to have the courage to make the change. Yes, this is your call, Amy. You're not listening. So this is now a chance. Do this with me, hun, because this is going to move you through huge of this is what's coming up. Okay? So is something missing from my life that made me happy before? So again, with situations and what we're in and what we're around, situations outside of our control, may have had us step away and let go of things that we used to do that made us happy and we can't do anymore, and that may really impact you. So am I navigating some type of change or transition right now? Ask yourself this. Have I stopped or dropped some of my practices that make me feel good? Just check in and see what this is for you, okay? And is there an area of my life that is really feeling out of alignment right now? So there's something that keeps pulling you back. And what is it? What is feeling out of alignment? So I know some of you have been feeling out of alignment even in your businesses, because it's like, well, I used to want that, don't want that anymore, or I thought that I wanted that, or in the transition. Okay, so you may be in transition, you may be upgrading in huge ways, and then there's that container of smallness that keeps pushing you down and reverts you to old way. Just let me know. And then also reflecting, am I feeling bored or stagnant or uninspired in, whether it's an area of my business or an area of my life? And do I know I need to create a change? Are there steps that I know I need to take that I know I am avoiding? So what's that for you? Let me know. Okay, so also check in with your mindset, your thoughts, like what's happening in there lately. So what are the quality of your self-care? What's the quality of your self-love? That's what I'm talking about. It's not doing, it's being. Am I self-accepting? Am I self-forgiving? Self-love is not a doing word, it's a being, it's a state of acceptance, okay? So explore all of that and identify the things that could be creating what you're feeling. And then asking yourself, what am I needing right now? And then I want to invite you to really listen to yourself. And I mean really listen to yourself. Uncover what's causing these feelings and what you need to create a shift. Everything is a choice. But I want you to drop any judgment you have of yourself for how you're feeling. Either you found yourself in a bit of a funk, so feeling stuck, or judgment that you may have around how often this tends to happen for you. Yep, so we can see it. That's right, you are. Okay, good, Amy. So one of the other things that I've really been big, that's been coming up for many of you guys, is you're feeling stuck with this judgment around how often those feelings tend to keep showing up for you. This is a big one, right? Because I have people come to me and say, well, I thought I've worked on this and I've healed it, and then here it is again, and here it is again, and it keeps coming up. And first of all, I want you to know that healing is a spiral, it's never straight up, right? And there are always deeper levels to it. And so if this is you, if you're the person where you're being in this kind of state quite frequently, tends to happen, if you're feeling already flat and heavy, all the judgment that you're feeling right now will only make you feel heavier, right? You are just putting a story on top of a story. So what you judge, you're actually stuck with. And it's like you're putting more in your backpack that you don't need. So what you're bringing acceptance to is what you're able to move beyond. And we don't grow and change through being criticized. And I know that we tend to have this idea that we need to use criticism as a way to motivate us to do differently. But actually, you're stuck. Remember? You're stuck with that criticism. You're deepening that pattern even deeper. You can't use this approach with yourself. That is not what's going to create the change. So instead, the energy I want you to bring to pull yourself out of this state is one of kindness, one of gentleness, one of compassion, one of self-forgiveness, because there's no agenda to fix here. When you're on that merry-go-round or on that path of going, I need to fix this, I need to get rid of this, right? Versus how can I love this without agenda is where it needs to shift. So let go of whatever it is that brought you to where you are. And I want you to see this moment with me right now as a clean slate to begin again. And you can create change in any moment. And as you know, the first step to evolve, the first step in higher consciousness is a wholehearted acceptance of where you are. There's no agenda to fix, only loving what you're judging and rejecting. And you know, the acceptance is the first step in moving up in your consciousness, because Einstein says you cannot solve a problem with the same level of thinking that created it. Okay? So the other thing I want you to keep in mind here is not about how often you fall out of alignment. This is where you're getting stuck, but how quickly you can bring yourself back. Does this make sense what I'm saying? Just let me know, because that's where we get caught. Like, I thought I did the work and it keeps coming up, and why does it keep coming up? And it's not about how often you fall out of alignment, but how quickly you bring yourself back. Because several years ago, and I heard Gabby Bernstein speak in Sydney, and many people kind of bought into the idea that she was always aligned, that she never got caught in negativity or self-judgment, right? And we tend to put, you know, those kind of authority celebrities on a pedestal as if they're not human. So at this talk that I was at, somebody actually put their hand up and asked this very question and said, Gabby, do you ever fall into patterns of negativity and criticism and judgment? And do you know what her answer was? She said, yes, all the time. My ego pulls me into these patterns all the time. But then she said something that was so powerful. She said, it's not how often you fall out of alignment, but how quickly you come back. She said, I don't focus on how often that voice comes in and pulls me out and all of that. My only focus is how quickly I come back into alignment. So you can fall out of alignment numerous times, but if you know how to pull yourself straight out of it, and you guys do, you know, that's awareness. So remember, mindfulness is remembering you have a choice. So celebrating how quickly you're able to bring yourself back into this alignment, yeah? So the next piece I want to remind you about is, you know, you have 100% the power to change your state. And sometimes our emotions can take us over so powerfully that we forget we have a choice. And the other trap is we fall into is that our emotional state cannot change until something or someone else outside of us changes. And so we end up waiting for things to change. We end up waiting for things to feel good, or we force things to create change, or we go into this fix-it mode, right? So that we can get more of those things that make us feel good. And I know this is confronting to hear, but stop it. Stop it. You're making it worse. The change you want to feel in your emotional state isn't going to come from anything outside of you. You have the power and ability to shift how you feel right now before anything outside of you shifts. It's always this way, and I know it's counterintuitive, but everything that's happening out there is a reflection of what's going on in here. Basic stuff. Your reality is from the beliefs that you have about yourself. Change your beliefs, you change your reality. It's simple and as effective and as powerful as that. And when you choose to take responsibility for how you're feeling, your inner world is in your control, okay? And whatever thoughts and emotions you choose to give your attention and energy to, determine how you feel. So if you believe you are 100% in charge for how you feel, what can you do right now to help move yourself out of this stagnant funk to feel more of what you want to feel? Knowing that feelings are not facts, okay? So I hope that all makes sense. Okay, so the next point I want to basically bring up with you is changing your focus. So in a period of funk, I want you to get super honest, and you're going to ask yourself these questions, okay? Okay, so have you been focusing on the problem or the solution? Have you been focusing on what we don't want, or what you don't want, or what you do want? Okay? Have you been focusing on what isn't going well, or what is going well? Have you been practicing complaining or appreciation and gratitude? Have you been focused on what is flawed or broken about you, or what is beautiful and wonderful? So what I just gave you is really simple, but can create massive shifts. So if we're feeling flat or funky because we're focusing on the wrong things, that's the problem. What we don't want, what isn't going well, where we don't want to be, So we need to shift that focus, okay? So here's some ways to shift your focus, and I'll put these in the comments, but I want you to just take a moment and really get them out, okay? So what do I feel grateful for that I have that is going really well in my life right now? So I'm just bringing you back, and I want you to affirm everything is working out perfectly for me. What do I already have in my life right now that is a match to what I'm creating and what I want? Okay? And affirm, all that I desire is on its way to me right now. It's just a matter of timing. Deepak Chopra says that it's like everything that you want, it's already manifested. It's just a matter of time. And then knowing that, you can afford to wait and wait without anxiety. Right? That's what A Course in Miracles says. Those that know and are sure of the outcome can afford to wait and wait without anxiety. Okay? So what do I deeply love and appreciate about my life right now? And then affirming more of what I love flows into my life every day. And then we want to shift your focus on peace rather than fear. Okay, so journal out, how can I bring more peace into my life right now? Or what can I let go of if you're holding on to something, Amy, like you're clinging on? What can I let go of to create more peace into my life so I can move forward? And just affirm, peace begins with me. Okay? And then the last one is, what do I need to let go of from past or future so that I can be here right now? This is where your magic happens in the present moment. And then affirming, in this present moment, all is perfect, whole and complete. Does that make sense? So where we're putting our focus on determines how we feel. And when big things are going on around us that we can't control, we've got to let go of struggling against it and work on what we can control, which is happening within us. That is not our circle of influence. We've got to be in our circle of influence, what we can control. And then shifting your energy. So we can change up our energy through our body, through our physiology, through using movement. Your physiology is actually what creates your psychology. So the way you hold your body impacts your mindset. So I know this is so simple, but seriously, simple movement practices is revolutionary for shifting your state. So anything from putting on music, shaking out your body, moving through a yoga flow, going for a run or walk, going on a big nature hike, right? Having a shower or a bath. Water is really beautiful to really cleanse, okay? So what are some of the ways you can shift your physiology, the way you're moving, the way you're holding your body, because that is going to help shift your state. And when you're feeling happy, when you're feeling excited, when you're feeling inspired, when you're feeling passion, you hold that in your body, right? So just go there. How does that feel? That's expansive, right? All of a sudden you've got glow in your eyes, those things. As opposed to when you're feeling flat, funky, sad, or depressed. Good morning, Lucia. Good morning, Lisa. So when you're feeling flat, sad, or depressed, as an example, what happens in your body? You're heavy, you're contracting, right? So I know this is simple, but just hear this. There's no accident that these are associated with our mindset. So even if you're not feeling that great, you can shift your physiology to feel more expansive. And I know this is simple. Don't dismiss it for its simplicity, because this is really powerful. And then my next practice, and this is the biggest, because this has been my discovery personally, especially over the last days, pleasure. Returning to pleasure. So sometimes life becomes dull, it becomes monotonous, and we move through the motions and tasks and to-do, and this is especially for you women, without realizing that life becomes devoid of pleasure and joy and aliveness and nourishment. So if you're a woman, you are, ladies, they are commenting, I want you to ask yourself, have I been prioritizing my pleasure lately? This is a big one. Don't dismiss this. This is huge. Have I been experiencing and feeling pleasure in my body and my life? Because it's actually pleasure that's going to magnetize everything that you want to you with ease, without the struggle. Okay? So have I been practicing my self-care rituals, giving time for me, but making time for what's really important to me, but not just doing them. It's not a to-do list, it's pleasure. Am I feeling pleasure and savoring those things? Have I been living in my body or my head? Have I been living in a way that makes me feel good? And have I been enjoying my food? Have I been, you know what I mean? What's not been giving me pleasure right now? Pleasure is extremely nourishing, and it makes the mundane magical. It brings joy and radiance and juice into our feminine bodies. So if you're feeling flat and funky, when life becomes about going through the motions, especially with what we're dealing with, it can feel like that, right? Doing the to-do lists, getting things done. Honestly, guys, I've had to look at this too, because this has been me, right? Not making time for those beautiful, delicious pleasures, right, to our bodies and our lives. And so maybe I would really invite you to journal, how can you bring in pleasure to your life? And it doesn't have to be anything big, it could be savoring everything. Whether it's your morning practice or when you eat your lunch, or when you go on your walk. So I've left my phone at home now, because I've noticed that I take my phone on my walk, it's not good, it's just not good. So I've been like more present as I walk, and like, wow, there is magic in everything around us. So slowing down and savoring all the sensations in every experience, and you will actually find so much pleasure available to you. Make sense? Let me know. And then my final point, okay, is action. Amy, I think this one's for you. So because you can have all of this knowledge and it's like, what do you do, right? What do? You know all of these things. Everything I'm sharing with you, you guys know already. So action, and the biggest thing is not taking action, and that's what's causing you to feel stuck and holding on and stagnant and funky and flat, okay? Action is what creates movement. Taking constructive steps toward, you know, what you want does wonders. Taking steps toward where you're moving does wonders to pull you out of a funk. And it's not it's not action to go, it's not a to-do list action, it's action toward what you're being called to step into, okay? So I want you to heart storm out any and every step that you can think of that will get you moving forward. Break them down. You do not need to see the end in the beginning, you just need to break them down in bite-sized steps, okay? And if we don't take action on those things that make us feel good, and when we stop prioritizing what makes us feel good, yeah, it's funky energy. And then all your time goes to the things that actually drain and deplete you. So I want you to really nut this out, okay? Things that make you feel good, that bring you joy. Anything that doesn't, ditch. Honestly, this is your life, you guys. This is your business. This is everything about, you know, this is your stuff. Nothing needs to be, there's no certain way that it needs to be or should. So stop shoulding. Just honor you. Honor everything that needs to be here, okay? Even the small things, right? So for me, what makes me feel pleasure and what brings me joy and nourishes me. So I haven't done this for ages. Last night I made a chocolate chia cake. I haven't done that for so long. I love Tanya Hubbard's. She's grain-free, gluten-free, which is my path. And this may sound really simple, but like just little things that really feel good, and they fill us from within, okay? And it makes us feel loved and taken care of and energized. So don't dismiss this and be like, these little things that you already know won't make you feel good. All these little shifts are actually what shift your energy and add up. And when you're in a funk, sometimes we feel nothing will work or make a difference, but it does. Cool? We're navigating a lot this year. Yeah, cool, awesome, Amy, love it. So I want to end with some guidance that has been channeled through me, okay? And I got this a few days ago around August in the whole, and I want to gift this to you. So I'm just going to pull it up and I'll just read it because that's what came through in my journaling. And I want to leave you with this beautiful gift so that you've got this guidance, okay? And then any questions you may have, I'm here to support you. All right. So let me just pull that up. All right, so here's what came through. Here's what spoke. August is a radical internal shift. You will notice changes within yourself, changes that may not yet be reflected externally in the way you desire, but changes that you will feel on a deep cellular level. Through June and July, a massive clearing was purging from within us, things that have been purging within our bodies. And this clearing has been unfolding to make space for light to flood in and emanate from your energy field. Don't become frustrated if you cannot see your external results just yet. It needs to be anchored within you first. Trust your inner knowing, trust that things are changing, and avoid trying to rush or force anything or look to external world for proof or evidence for the change you desire. Remember, life is a reflection of you. You cannot see something outside of you before you have cultivated inside of you. The inner cultivation, embodiment, seeding, planting, blossoming is everything right now. So if you're feeling frustrated because life continues to place roadblocks in your path, slow down your progress and pause. Notice what part of you is frustrated and why. Is it the part of you that has ideas, plans, and expectations for how things should look? Is it the part of you that's trying to push forward with its own agenda? Is it the part of you that's afraid to slow down, trust, and surrender into the divine process that is already unfolding? Witness that part of you and know that that is not who you are. It's layers of programming that has caused you to become fixated on how anything must look and unfold. Instead, tap into the part of you that feels ease, that feels at ease in this process, the part of you that trusts life, the part that has no judgment or no preconceived ideas, but is embracing all of life and how it's choosing to unfold in this time. What are you receiving on behalf of? It cannot be from you. It must be from Source. There is a divine unfolding working through you, even if you can't see that or it doesn't make sense to you right now. Get out of your mind, out of its stories, its analysis, its thoughts, and bring your awareness to your heart. And this is why I played that beautiful song at the beginning. Your all-knowing, all-wise, glorious heart. Feel the resonance of your heart that is unconditionally loving and accepting to all that life brings. And look at your circumstances through your heart. Feel the softening and opening, and bring that love to any area of your life and business that is feeling difficult right now. And final words, your energy is your greatest currency. The quality of your energy is everything right now, not what you're doing. Tend to your energy. Slow down and tune in to how you're feeling. Your feelings are the indicator of the energy you are radiating. Remember, you are always radiating and emanating an energy frequency, an energetic frequency, and the quality of this frequency is more important than you realize. The greatest point of your power you have is to become aware of your energy, how your energy is vibrating, and become aware of what signal you are broadcasting into the field. Make this your focus now throughout August. Huge, 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 huge. Does that speak to you? Please let me know if it does, because that's just what poured through me a few days ago for you guys here.